Right now, NBC 26 live at 10. Police identify the suspect in a church shooting near Nashville. Plus, taking a knee and locking arms, NFL players league-wide respond to President Trump. And the heat didn't stop runners from participating in the Fox Cities Marathon. And a good Sunday evening to all of you. I'm Mo Hyder. Regina has a night off. The Green Bay Packers hosted the Cincinnati Bengals at Lambeau Field this evening. A thrilling overtime victory for the Pack, but as sports director Charlie Sakaitis will explain, the biggest story took place just outside the lines in both here and across the entire National Football League.
The game here at Lambeau Field was an incredible one, but it was secondary to a bigger story. Friday in Alabama, President Donald Trump verbally attacked members of the NFL who have knelt during the national anthem, originally as a form of protest against police brutality towards African Americans.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
From the moment that sound went viral, the focus of the nation turned to how the league and its players would respond. Early this morning in London, of all places, we got our first view. A number of players from both teams planted their knees in the ground. Others, including Jacksonville owner Shahid Khan, linked arms during the anthem. Following suit, players from teams all over the league did the same, some sitting, some kneeling. There was even the Steelers team, which didn't come out for the anthem at all, save for Army veteran Alejandro Villanueva. As for the Green Bay Packers, Martellus Bennett, Lance Kendricks, and Kevin King all sat during the anthem, while most of the rest of the team stood arm in arm.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of turmoil within our country, within the people in our country.
One thing that our coach spoke about was unity and just supporting your team.
You know, on this team, we're going to keep choosing love over hate, unity over division.
I thought it was wrong. You know, I didn't think that was something that, you know, as a citizen, you know, of, you know, the United States, I don't think that's something that, you know, our leader, you know, should say.
The second thing is my wife's Puerto Rican, and a lot of her family's in Puerto Rico. And for me, I feel like the president should have focused a lot of light on Puerto Rico and what's going on there. They don't have any power that a lot of people are missing. I feel like that's where the focus needs to be.
I know personally on my Twitter and social media was receiving a lot of positivity, but a lot of hatred as well, which is interesting. I know that it's probably 1/10 or 1/100th maybe of some of my black teammates.
In 1966, Robert Kennedy delivered a speech citing an old Chinese curse that goes, quote, "May he live in interesting times," unquote. You may be for these protests, you may be not. You may not want these things getting mixed in with your sports. But one thing is for sure, these times, they are interesting. From Lambeau Field, keeping you connected, I'm Charlie Sakaitis for NBC 26.
All right, thank you, Charlie. And back here in Green Bay, there was plenty of action after kickoff. The Packers and Bengals coming down to the wire. NBC 26's Kelly Price has a recap of tonight's showdown. Kelly.
I'll set the scene for you guys. Aaron Rodgers has never beaten the Bengals in his career, and he's never won an overtime game. I wonder what could have happened today. First quarter, Packers are down 7-0, and Rodgers sails one to a wide-open Lance Kendricks, the former Badgers' first score for the Pack tie game, 7-all. To the second, Bengals driving Andy Dalton to Giovanni Bernard, tiptoes into the end zone and tiptoes into the lead, 14-7. Fast forward less than 30 seconds on the clock, and Rodgers bullet to Jordy Nelson. With the Mason Crosby extra point, it's 24-24. We go to overtime, where the defense will come up huge. 3rd and 6 for Cincy. Josh Jones with the stop. The rookie had a heck of a game. The Pack is back on offense, and could it be a free play? Geronimo Allison slices through the secondary until he's brought down on the 6. Crosby does his part. Packers win in overtime, 27-24. We'll have plenty more on the win coming up later in sports. See you then. Mo?
All right, thank you so much, Kelly. And also, if you were actually at the game, you were probably noticing it's a little hotter than usual. But what's next for us? Chief Meteorologist Cam Moreland has your forecast. Cam?
Well, Mo, let's start by taking a look at Lambeau, where there's still just a little bit of steam coming off the stadium tonight. after kickoff temperatures right around 90 degrees. Currently, it is 75, which means it is a very warm and muggy night, even by July standards. Let's take a look at the temperatures across the entire state. You can see we've got 60s, 70s, still 81 degrees in La Crosse. Tomorrow morning, for your school day forecast, look for lots of sunshine. It'll be muggy. Temperatures will be in the 60s and quickly climbing by the final bell, once again getting pretty close to 90 degrees. Mo?
All right, thank you so much, Cameron. The Fox Cities Marathon runners also battled the heat today. One of those runners has done it each of the 27 years the race has gone off. But this year's run held a special meaning. Max Grossfeld has her story.
30 seconds. As runners prepare for the Fox Cities Marathon, they know they're in for a tough race.
I'm very nervous right now. I'm excited. Not sure what the outcome's going to be because of the heat.
Getting through more than 26 miles of running is never easy, but with these hot conditions, race organizers are being especially careful. They've put water stations on nearly every mile of the course in order to help racers get to the finish line.
Once for 13.1 and then...
One racer isn't worried. Kelly Luther has been here before.
It's really fun because this year my friends, family, everybody's out supporting and cheering on, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
As the race starts, Luther begins her 100th marathon.
Did the first year, Fox Cities 1991, and I enjoyed it so much I decided I wanted to do it again, and then again, and again, and again.
But it's not always easy to put one foot in front of the other.
So a couple years ago when I got diagnosed with MS, I had to slow down a little bit, but kept going. And then last year when I lost my husband, who was my #1 fan and supporter, it was hard.
Luther says this race honors her husband's memory.
I had already had this goal in mind last year when he passed away, so I knew that I had to keep going to fulfill that goal that we had set.
And she says she isn't racing alone.
He'll be with me, and I'm sure that he'll be smiling ear to ear.
Keeping you connected in Neenah, Max Grossfeld, NBC 26.
All right, thank you so much, Max. Now, Luther finished the marathon in just under 6 hours. Police say a masked gunman opened fire and killed 1 person and injured 7 at a church near Nashville. Nashville police have identified that man as Emmanuel Kadega Sampson. Police say Sampson shot and killed a woman in the parking lot of Burnett Chapel Church of Christ in Antioch this morning. He's been released from the hospital and will be charged with murder and attempted murder. The victim, who was fatally shot, has been identified as 39-year-old Melanie Smith. And on to the White House, there are reports of President Trump's son-in-law and senior White House advisor Jared Kushner using private emails to talk to White House officials. His lawyer says any non-personal emails were forwarded to Kushner's official account. His legal team also says the emails on this account were mostly news articles. Sources say White House lawyers discussed Kushner stepping down to ease legal controversies surrounding the Russia probe. President Donald Trump issued a new order on the travel ban. The old policy that expired today focused on 6 majority Muslim countries. The new one sets travel limits on 8 countries. In the new version, Chad, North Korea, and Venezuela have been added to the list of the original one, which includes Iran, Libya, Somalia, Syria, and Yemen. Sudan, though, was dropped. The new restrictions vary for each country. Now, the new rules are set to go into effect on October 18th. The search for survivors and bodies of those who died in collapsed buildings in Mexico City continue today. Mexican authorities say the death toll from the earthquake is over 300. More than half of those numbers come from Mexico City alone. People are still waiting to hear back from missing loved ones as well. Some have been waiting outside the collapsed building since Tuesday when the quake actually happened. Thousands of people are also homeless because their houses or apartment buildings are completely at a loss. Puerto Rican officials continue to evacuate thousands of people downstream of a failing dam in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. Authorities launched an evacuation of the 70,000 people in northwest Puerto Rico, sending them buses to move them away. Forecasters say the hurricane is causing danger along the east coast of the U.S. After the storm devastated the country, the U.S. National Hurricane Center said yesterday the storm's winds have decreased to 115 miles an hour. Employees of a Manitowoc business were evacuated this morning after police say a bomb threat was made. They say it happened on the 2300 block of Waldo Boulevard just a little after 1 this morning. Police say a call was made to the business from an unknown male. Officers did match the incoming calls to a 22-year-old Two Rivers man and determined it was not credible. The man is being held at the Manitowoc County Jail for charges of bomb scares and disorderly conduct. A decision expected to be made tomorrow on the future of Appleton Coated. Right now, the company is in receivership and has temporarily laid off hundreds of employees. Outagamie County Executive Tom Nelson is in hopes of a potential buyer who will keep all the jobs, but as of now, it's uncertain what the intention of any new possible owner is. An Outagamie County judge heard the case Friday, but will continue to hear it tomorrow. The hearing starts at 2:30 in the afternoon in Appleton. The 4th annual Bringing Back the Bay Tour kicks off tomorrow. The event is hosted every year by the Clean Bay Backers, a group that works on improving awareness with water quality issues in Lower Fox River and the Bay of Green Bay. The tour is offered to elected officials and community leaders and starts at 9 in the morning at the Bay Beach Pavilion. Well, still ahead on NBC 26 Live at 10, finding your zen and a furry little friend at the same time. It's a unique combination, but first, what's the weather going to look like for the rest of the week? Your forecasts up next.
And now, your Storm Shield forecast with NBC 26 Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland.
With highs right around 90 degrees for the 3rd day in a row, our September heat wave continues. Now, with 3 straight days with highs in the 90s, we have now seen our first back-to-back-to-back 90s on or after the autumnal equinox on record. And records go back to 1886. Will we make it 4 days in a row? Let's take a look. We're going to come awfully close. I'm forecasting a high temperature tomorrow of 89. On Tuesday, it looks like lower to mid-80s. Then a cold front moves through. That'll cool us down a bit on Wednesday and Thursday, and then another front moves through, and that'll cool us down into the upper 50s by Friday. Right now, temperatures are slowly falling through the mid-60s and lower 70s across most of northeast Wisconsin. It is currently 73 degrees in Shawano, and we're looking at 73 degrees in Appleton. Temperatures today running a good 20 to 25 degrees above normal, which means it was a record setter at Lambeau Field. The kickoff temperature was 89 degrees, which means today's game was the hottest game ever played at Lambeau Field, and that kickoff temperature was 102 degrees warmer than the coldest game ever played at Lambeau, the Ice Bowl, 13 degrees below zero. Which game would you rather go to? I'll let you answer that one. All right, along with the heat today, we had a lot of humidity. Dew points back up to around 70 degrees, and we can expect more of the same tomorrow. Dry conditions across northeast Wisconsin for the entire weekend, but we have some showers and thunderstorms off to our west. Those are associated with our next weather maker. Right now, it is a stationary front, but that front is going to turn into a cold front tomorrow, and it's going to start working towards northeast Wisconsin. Out ahead of it today, it was feeling like the middle of July. Behind it, it was feeling like late fall or early winter, with high temperatures only in the 40s and 50s. So with that warm weather once again this afternoon, it was our 14th straight day with above normal high temperatures. Tomorrow will be day number 15. Once again, right around 90. Most spots away from Lake Michigan will be in the upper 80s to lower 90s. Closer to the lake, probably lower to mid 80s. Now here's a look at the record highs across northeast Wisconsin during the heat wave. We set a record high yesterday. We did not set a record high today, but we could set a record high tomorrow. The record high is 87. I'm forecasting 80 to 89 degrees. So tonight, warm and muggy with lows in the 60s. Our normal low is in the 40s. Tomorrow, 89 degrees. The record high is 87. So my 3-degree guarantee for tomorrow is 89. If I can hit that high within 3 degrees, we will donate $100 to Growing Oshkosh. And we did that today. I forecast 89, and the actual high temperature was 90 degrees. As we head into Tuesday, we'll watch that cold front move in with some showers and thunderstorms. Lower to mid 80s, much cooler on Wednesday, mid 60s. And much cooler for Thursday night's game at Lambeau after highs in the lower 70s, which should probably be in the upper 50s to lower 60s at kickoff. And then even cooler weather comes in for Friday before a really nice weekend, a weekend in which we say goodbye to September and head into October, Mo.
To answer your question, I think I prefer today's type of game as opposed to the other version.
How many people can say they were at both the Ice Bowl and the hottest game ever played at Lambeau?
Probably not so
Maybe
many.
the Heat Bowl or the Charcoal Bowl. I don't know. We'll have a name for it at some point.
At some point. All right. Thank you so much, Cameron. Well, still to come on NBC 26 Live at 10. Cats and yoga. Yeah, unique combination. Helping furry little friends find a home. Plus, it's hot outside and people were still bringing some coats to Lambeau Field. That's coming up right after the break. Welcome back. Sunday morning was a chance to find some zen and possibly even a furry little friend to take home. The Cats on Mats event was held at Western Racket and Fitness Club today. People can enjoy some yoga and meet cats and kittens who need a home. Volunteers say it's also relaxing for the cats.
Just gives the animals the chance to kind of roam and play at their own pace, get a chance to be around new people, which again, that are all ways that increase their opportunity of getting adopted, like this little dude here.
And 50% of the proceeds go to the Happily Ever After Animal Sanctuary. While it's really hot outside today, a lot of people were still bringing coats to the game, and here's why. The Packers' annual Coats for Kids started before kickoff. Through the Salvation Army, fans had the chance to donate new and used winter coats for children. Even if you were missing out on today's event, don't worry, you still have another chance.
Well, we collect coats through November 3rd, and we have a variety of drop-off sites throughout all of Brown County. People can bring their coats to the Salvation Army, to any of our sponsors, as well as to any of the dry cleaners.
Today, 130 coats were collected and $8,000 in cash donations were also made. And some more action going on at Lambeau Field for the 15th season in a row. The Packers and Sargento Foods teamed up to raise money for neighbors in need as part of the Touchdowns for Charity program. For every touchdown scored, the company donates $1,500 to Hunger Task Force in Milwaukee and Paul's Pantry in Green Bay. Organizers say it's a fun way for everyone to rally behind a great cause.
Touchdowns for Charity has lasted for 15 seasons, but we started this on-site food drive about 6 years ago to really give fans that experience that, hey, we're in this together. We can fight hunger together.
Also, Packers Hall of Famer William Henderson was there meeting and greeting with all the fans. So much going on at Lambeau today. Well, thanks for spending your Sunday night with me. Stick around for Sports Rewind. That's coming up next.